and we'll be going through, the thesis traditional template. So good afternoon again, folks. So I think we'll begin now, and as we go through the process, persons if they join in late, I guess they could always catch up, and a recording will be shared with the participants who registered for the program. So again, my name is Randy Siew. I'm one of the user services librarians attached to the Alma Jordan Library. So my area of focus is engineering, but the thesis template that we will be going through is a generic template that can be translated and used within the various faculties. So joining me in this presentation as well is Ms. Jolie Raja. She's our faculty liaison librarian for law. So she is one of the persons who would have worked on developing this template, and she'll be monitoring the chat. So you feel free to post your questions in the chat feature, or you can raise your hand, and we can attend to your question there, right? So I don't have a set presentation per se, so what I'll be going through is to show you how to access the template, right? As well as the various instruction in utilizing the traditional thesis template. So in the chat, I would just give you some links to the Alma Jordan website, as well as the contact information for our faculty liaison librarians. So as we go through this process and we look at the thesis template, if it is that you belong to a faculty that isn't using the Chicago Manual of Style, you can always liaise with your faculty liaison librarian, and they'll be able to provide you with some guidance in terms of how to utilize the thesis template. Right. So I'm just making sure everybody hear me loud and clear, right?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah, okay. I saw someone indicated that they may not be hearing on their end. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to take you guys to the Alma Jordan's website. So I will stop my camera since we all got a good look of me, and it's to help with the bandwidth streaming as well. Julia, I would need permission to share my screen.
You should be able to share now.
All right, thanks a lot. Just making sure a person's able to see my shared screen.
Yes, we can.
All right, great. So this is the Alma Jordan's website. So once you're on this website, you're going to services. You'll get a little drop down. And from here, you go to services for undergrads, postgrads, faculty, and alumni. So here you have several tabs to the top where you see undergraduates, postgraduates, faculty, alumni, and contact. So if you click on postgraduates and you scroll down, you'll see a section here on theses. So laid out here are some basic instructions where you can download the thesis template. So you can either download the traditional thesis template for numbered as well as the unnumbered, right? In the interest of time, I'll just go through the numbered thesis template for you guys so you can have a look at how it's laid out, as well as the guidelines to the UWI STA thesis template. So it gives you some instructions here as well. So these are hyperlinks. So once you click on it, it will download the template on your machine. Right, so now I'll just switch to the Word version so you can see the template. So once you download the template and you open, this is what you will get. So there's some instruction on the first couple of pages that guides you on how to use the template. So this template is formatted for the Chicago Manual of Style. So again, if you belong to the Faculty of Humanities and Education, you may be utilizing a different style. So you can liaise with your faculty liaison librarian for guidance on how to utilize the template to best suit your program. The other versions of the template to come in alignment with MLA and APA, we would be working on those and they will be uploaded in due course, right? So here you would see the title page. So there are some instructions on the title page in terms of where you would type the title of your thesis and the program that you are in, as well as your department, your name, where everything will go. So there are just some fields here, as you can see, that you just replacing the information that you're seeing here, right? As you go through the template, it gives you some further instruction in terms of the abstract. So this template also looks at the formatting. So what we will see is that the line spacing here is already formatted for you, right? Accompanying this thesis template is also an instruction guide that is a little bit more friendlier to use as well. So on the library's website, you would have seen guidelines to the UWI STA thesis template. So once you download that, that is an Excel spreadsheet. So can you just let me know if you're seeing the Excel spreadsheet by chance?
Yes, we're seeing the Excel page now.
Right, so great. So the Excel spreadsheet here, you would see we have a table of contents. So if I were to find out what information goes on the title page, I can just click on the title page and it takes me here to the information that I need to include in the title page. So it also references a section of the thesis guide that this needs to be in compliance with, right? So here for the title page, you would omit the page number. So it doesn't have a page number on the title page, right? You'll also include information on the degree that you're pursuing, as well as your name, the author's name, the year of submission, and information related to the department. So similarly, if I wanted to get some further information in terms of, let's say, figures, I click on a list of figures and it gives me some information here. So in terms of a table, right, it gives me how a table should be laid out, right? A line spacing here. So you use a 1.0 line spacing for figures, titles that are longer than one line, right? So you're using this instruction in conjunction with the thesis template, right? So even if you're looking at the thesis template, I'll go back to the thesis template here now. I'm sorry, it's just a little bit of back and forth between the two documents because I want to make sure that you really get a hang of the template itself. If I were to scroll to, let's say, a figure. So here we have a figure. So the figure is left aligned, right? It's not centered. A lot of students, they tend to center their images, but it's left aligned. And the spacing for the title, it goes in one line, right? There's also, you include the source if it is that it's not an original creation by you. You include the source where you would have taken the image or the figure from, and you don't include, let's say, a write-up on the figure itself in the title. You would include a note if it's necessary, right? So what if you notice that the title goes to the bottom of the figure, but for a table, right, the title of the table will go to the top, right? And the bottom of the table, if it is that you're taking the table from a particular text, right, and it's not an original creation, you would include the source to the bottom of the table. It also gives you some information on landscape paging because the thesis is something that is bound at some point. It's the numbering for landscape pages tend to be facing a different direction. So if you're looking at this particular page, you would see the number 16 is not to the top of the page, but to the bottom, and it's facing the right. Also, if it is that your table or your figure can't fit in one page and you need to split the diagram or the table, there's some instructions there on how it should be laid out. So you don't repeat the entire title of the table in this case on the second page. You will just include table 1.3 continue to indicate that it's a continuation of the table above. And again, the source information comes to the end part of the table. So here we have some instructions and some examples of how different type of references would look. So we have an example here for a journal article. Then you have some examples of maybe a print text as well. All right. So again, you can utilize this as a guide along with the other reference style guides, right? So basically, this is a template in a nutshell. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use as well, right? So again, all this is available on the library's website, right? There's two areas you can find it. So I'll just go through that again with you pretty quickly, just so that you can see exactly where you're getting those templates to download. So again, you can access it from the services section here. Services, undergrad, postgrad, faculty, and alumni, or you can also access it from the engineering's page. So you click on engineering, then go to Thesis, and here you can find access to the thesis guide, as well as the various templates. And there's also some information here in case you're looking to contact the faculty liaison librarian. You can just click here and you'll get information on the various librarians attached to the HAL for the different faculties. So Dr. Rennick, who is also in the session, her focus is on the School of Education. So they have their own website. So I can put the link to the School of Education's website and you'll get her contact information there as well. So if there are any questions, I'll just stop sharing my screen now and I can take any questions you may have. And we also have Miss Julie Raja, who is here as well. And she was one of the persons who would have developed this thesis template, and she'll be able to answer any questions that I may not be able to answer. So you can feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions, or you can unmute yourself and talk.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
I wanted to ask you about pagination. You know that sometimes in the thesis, it would start with Roman numerals, and then you would have to change to like, is it Arabic? One, like regular 1, 2.
Yeah.
The numbers have to change, and it's one document. How can someone go about doing that? Thank you.
How to actually change the numbering, or
yeah,
how to know from where do you actually start?
I want to know how the process to actually do that, like in one document, have it starting with just the Roman numerals, you know, because sometimes the acknowledgements and the abstract, you know, those are Roman numerals, and then when you actually start your actual thesis, the body of your thesis, you have to go to, I think it's Arabic, I'm not Arabic numerals, and so I want to know what is the process to do that, please.
All right. Okay. So that's a wonderful question. So if it is that you're not using the template, right? We also have along with the thesis template, thesis formatting tips for using Microsoft Word, right? So it gives you some tips on how to adjust those numbering, right? But in the template itself, all the preliminary pages have been numbered in the Arabic numbering system, and then I'm sorry, the Roman numerals, and then the Arabic numbering system starts from where the body of the thesis starts on page 1, right? So if it is that you need assistance in adjusting the number, and if you're working outside of the template, right, we have this tips for using Microsoft Word, but I will switch back to the thesis template and I can just show you that quickly, the number in there. So if you look here at the top right, you would have seen the Roman numerals, right? And this goes up until the end of the preliminary pages. Right. So at the start of the thesis here, we have the numbering done for you already. So this is one of the beauties of using the actual template, right? You can get a lot of this already done for you. right? As Jolie indicated in the chat, we also have some instructions on how to adjust the numbering as well within the template.
Thank you very much.
No problem. But again, if you're having any difficulties, you can feel free to reach out to any one of the faculty liaison librarians, and we can have individual one-on-one sessions to help guide you along the process as well. So we would encourage you to reach out to us at the start of your research process as you start to develop and work on your thesis. So that way we can help you along the way, and it makes it easier coming down to the end and less stressful on you as well. So we have another question. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, yeah.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Thanks for the information you shared so far. I am doing the Chicago manual style, and maybe I got it wrong because I just saw you in terms of labeling the titles for your tables and whatnot. You put it at the top. I was putting mine at the bottom, so I'm not too sure. Is it different styles? Because I thought in Chicago you had to label at the bottom. So can you guide me on that, please? Thanks.
All right, so the UE guide, right, the thesis guide, the instruction is that you label at the top right. So we are following the UE thesis guide here, right? So again, if you look at the thesis guide, you would see that in there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So we have another question.
Nokia C30 has a question. I'm not sure.
Let's say Catherine first. I saw she already unmute herself. Yeah.
Yes, I
Oh, sure.
how do you decide whether to use an unnumbered format or numbered format for your thesis?
So again, that guidance will come from your advisor, right? So I will encourage you to liaise with your advisor, and they will guide you in terms of which is best suited for your program. So Nokia C30. Okay, we're hearing you on your end. I'm not sure if your mic is giving problems. Okay, we're hearing something now. So in terms of for clarification, when I say advisor, it is yes, your thesis supervisor.
Could I ask a question, please?
Sure, go right ahead, Lyndon.
Yeah, in the format, the template that you presented, and thank you so much for this information. I noticed and then the first and the paragraph, I didn't skip the line between the paragraph, because to me, I thought when I read the first guide, the 2015 guide, you allowed either owner, you could use this option here, or do indent but skip is the line between the sentence. Sorry, a space between the two paragraphs. Is this the
right? So
only option?
Yeah, so you have the choice of doing that. I mean, right? So we just look at ease of clarity in terms of when you're looking at it and you're reading. So it's easier to identify the indentation, right? So we encourage you to use the indentation.
But if you use the other one,
You can if you wish. Because once the guide specifies that, you can if you wish.
Yeah, I think that they had the option, so I choose the other option. I know I see this here now, so I better go backwards now to fix everything.
any other question?
Hi,
The-
is there a template for the manuscript version of the thesis formatting, or is this only applicable for the traditional formatting?
Unfortunately, we don't have a template for the manuscript base as yet, right? But the librarians could offer the guidance to you on that, right? So in terms of you're working on a manuscript base, I will encourage you to check us early as you begin, right? Because there are some things that you need to know, because one of the key things I've noticed when I review manuscript-based theses is that students tend to, when they're using articles that already been published, they tend to just copy the article as it is and insert it into the thesis. But and it doesn't look as one cohesive document. So again, the formatting needs to be in alignment with the thesis guide, right? So I would encourage you to meet with your faculty liaison librarian early as you start that process. Also,
Okay.
when you're looking at manuscript-based theses, there's a lot of permissions that you need to seek before you utilize articles. So reach out as early as possible when you start that process.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
Hi, good day. Can I ask a question, please?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, so I bought the APA manual, and when I used the manual, they've made some changes to the APA style. All right. I don't know if I got a DOF, a fake book or something, but I bought it on Amazon. And some of these changes include numbering your title page, starting with the number 1 at the top right-hand corner, going all the way down to the appendix section. And I heard you earlier on in class stated that we don't number the title page. So I'm just clarifying that piece of information, please.
So you're using APA, you say, right?
Yes, that's what I got from the book, that we're now numbering the first page, and also that you're no longer putting the HP address and whatnot. There's certain like if you have an internet source, there's certain
Right.
information you're not putting, like the date and whatnot of the date access and all of that. They're no longer using that format. You're just leaving out the date access and just putting the website and the title of the article and whatnot, a web source.
All right, so what I will do, I will encourage you to reach out to Dr. Shaman Rennick. I will put her contact information in the chat. And she is one of our librarians who are experts in this area in the terms of APA, right? So she would be able to guide you in terms of utilizing APA.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, so I'll just leave her contact in there and reach out to her, and she will go through the process, because she's also working on a template that is specific to APA style. Right, so any more questions? If there are no more questions, I'll
We have
allow you guys.
Will there ever be a time when a latex template is created or designed for the thesis?
Oh, I've heard that question
Yeah.
before. So some engineering students, they ask me the same thing. So there's something that we will look at and we will consider for as one of the future. So that will only be done after we have completed the the templates for the other versions as well. So which would be MLA and EPA. So once we finish those, that is something that we can look at.
So that would answer the, is there an MLA template question? The other templates are in the works. I think those of you who are taking a look at the templates would appreciate the amount of work that has gone into creating the Chicago template, manual of style template to start. But we are working behind the scenes. We understand the demands. So as soon as template is available, we will notify the relevant student groupings on campus and look out for notices from us. So Nicole, the template that we have available right now is the Chicago Manual of Style Author Date 17th edition. That's the template that is currently available.
Okay, so I've included Dr. Ranick's contact information as well as my contact information as well. So you guys could can reach out to us. I'm just going through the chat to see if there's any other questions. I'm not seeing any more. So I guess that's it there, Julie. Or the participants would have the links to the other sessions as well, right?
Sure. So we have an evaluation form that we would very kindly ask you to fill out. So just monitor the chat and the links will be shared there. So this is a form that will evaluate the general sessions, including this formatting session. Your feedback is really important to us. So please take a few minutes to fill out the form. And when we end this session, we are going into breakout sessions for the referencing styles, and those breakout sessions begin at 1:30 p.m. Now, you would have received, or you ought to have received, links to those sessions, depending on the faculty and program that you're in. I encourage you to check your email, and I can share the links again in the chat if people wish. Just give me a minute to pull them up. Yeah. Okay, so let me check and see what's going on with the evaluation form. Yeah. All right. So try this link.
So posted in the chats are the link to the breakout sessions for the various referencing style. So thanks again, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon and the session. So I will look out for emails from you guys in the future as you work on completing your thesis.
Right, everyone. So we're going to end the meeting, and we'll see you in the respective sessions.